Let me stack this B, man. What's up, what's up, what's up? YouTube, my bro. What's up, YouTube?
I got Twitter. People of color, black people are the best creators. It's funny.
How specific, man? Of course, dog, the sausage. When you go
Bruh,
to
the
a
sausage,
bride.
the
When
cheese.
you're going to a bride, my
Bro. Fast. But it
Oh,
can't be
man.
that thin one. So
Nah, carry on, you know what?
fuck it.
Speak,
Friday, yeah.
speak random things.
We always do.
No, you do an introduction while I get us some weed as well.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome to Roeks and Hooks. I hope the week has been great for you. I got two people that brings the moral code and ethics in this fight game that I want to lose, but we'll get into bigger details of that. But yeah, hope you guys have had a good week so far. A lot to be grateful for. Hope you guys are practicing gratitude, not just keeping it to yourselves. Alright?
Done talking?
Yeah, I just finished now.
Okay.
It's perfectly timed.
So, what's the main on the pre?
Yo.
Let's see. Or do you want to talk about Colby and Jorge first? Because that's like off the dome stuff, so it's easy.
Yeah, since I don't even know, man. Jalen Turner and Malarkey. I know Malarkey.
I don't know any of them.
This is the just right. She was the
I know the
she was the
third guy.
Chinese lady that I thought previous card I wanted to watch. It's actually her.
Nice. What did I do with
And you
other
get him,
dude?
no? Kennedy.
I know him, but I think he lost in his last fight. He looks very like robotic in his movement, so maybe he gets flow. It'll be dope if he
He
finds
should
flow.
because he's a powerful fellow.
He's very powerful, but that's why he's like robotic. It's almost like
Usman. Robot jab.
yeah, ish. Because I was gonna say now it's like almost because he's black, like, and learning in a white gym, the moves come across not natural.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Usman's one, bruh, because this guy's actually from Nigeria, I think. So
I mean, when they carry more power, man, and they look like you're saying they don't flow as they don't. It's not as pretty on the eye when they're punching.
Usman, he's not. He like actually grew up in the white system, so his flow is kind of like that. Whereas this guy, he's from Nigeria. He didn't grow up in that system, and I could be wrong about that. It would be dope if I'm not.
Fact check.
Write
in the comments.
And he what was I going to say? Oh, he came into this new or later in his life, so it's visibly easier to see that his adjustment is taking longer than Usman's. And Usman did take long to like get into his flow of striking. Because flow of striking for me, like when you say flow of something, it includes everything.
I said the first thing on where the striking was picking up for him was the Burns fight for me, bro.
Who was before that, bro?
Colby won, maybe? One of the ones. There would have been some.
Oh yeah, that's when he was on the heavy wrestling. But nah, even before that, yeah,
was Burns his first
flow, for the flow of the fighting, of the striking, I think it was. But yeah, Woodley wasn't his first defense.
No, I'm asking was Burns his first defense, because then it would have been Woodley.
We had this conversation already
the
last time.
Did we?
Yeah, bro, we were trying to figure it out. But we didn't figure it out. But anyway, Usman's not fighting.
Sorry, can we just say, Kamaru Usman, you beat him, manned him twice, bro. You've left him twice, bro. There's different levels. There's different levels. Kamaru Usman. Never forget, guys. Put more respect on the man's name, please. Wow.
But anyway, so I didn't know any fucking shit about George and Colby until I watched this early
countdown. Oh.
Nah, not countdown. It was something that came out that we watched by
Yes.
It was basically a countdown, but that a random person made, like a YouTube.
Yeah, but it was background info mainly, most.
Yeah, it was mostly about the friendship before, and I didn't know that shit. Or I knew it obviously because of UFC media, but I didn't know how deep it was. And holy shit, that shit's deep. It's literally like some of our friends that we're gonna see at our reunion anyway. Like it's deep, man. For people to turn their back on you when the front was so hugging. Do you know what I mean? Anyway.
Who do you think's telling the truth out of interest?
Yeah, so that's why I said, do you want to do the background stuff first and then speak about the fighting?
Yeah,
even though it's the same
continue
thing.
as we're talking now.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. Even though it's the same thing, I feel like they obviously tie into each other, man. So
we can somehow just work our way down from the main background into their fight and
the truth about what? Because both of them are telling the truth, but what are you asking about? And it's their truths. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like Colby could also just be lying.
Yeah, Colby's definitely lying a fuckload.
Full on lying.
He's definitely lying
it can
a
be his truth,
fuckload.
yeah, but it's a fucking lie.
In the press conference, he's not lying about shit.
Nah, nothing.
Like, he might have been twisting truths in the interviews, but in that press conference, he was flowing. He was sitting there, chilled as fuck, and putting that guy in his place every time he spoke out of line. Like, that's not true, pull out receipts. That's not true, pull out receipts. This is what actually happened. This is what actually happened. So in that aspect, I don't think he was lying, but in these other things, that's why I asked, what are you asking about? Because both of them's definitely twisting the truth. Do you know what I mean? But I do think that Colby's lying a lot. And also, like, trying a lot harder.
Yeah.
That's
how Masvidal advises him, sell the pay-per-view, Colby. Sell the pay-per-view, boy.
No, God.
Sell the pay-per-view.
He sounded so much like Dustin when he said that shit.
Away. Well, I mean, yeah. In terms of, like, the beef starting, because Colby's whole thing is obviously he got big, but then Masvidal's got the thing of, you didn't pay our coach, bruh. Like, the coach that got you to your interim title.
I would say it's a bit of both. Colby getting too big, I think that affected Masvidal to the point where he left to that show. And then Colby kept moving it, I think. Fact check in the comments, mercy. But I don't think it was like a shown jealousy. It's almost like something that Masvidal didn't want to accept, and it came out in negative ways. Do you know what I mean? Like, he didn't use it to fuel himself. He was like, nah, that's my brother, I'm not going to be jealous. And he tried to, like, keep it in, and it came out bad. And when he went on that show, he found himself, and I don't know if he was still friends with him at that time, but then the coach thing did happen. So that's why I say I think it's definitely both, because Colby admits it in that interview. He says, I didn't pay that man because my job is to pay the gym. I paid 5% to the gym, and that man's not part of the gym. And then Masvidal says, you had a deal with that man, so you should have paid him. So Colby did pay the gym, but he also had another deal with that man on the side, so he should have paid. So I don't know. Both of them are telling their truths. Like, I fully believe that, bro. But I do think that Colby's lying more, because he's a fucking... Like, how many words can I say about him that people haven't said? Not many, Sinjo.
Colby.
Colby!
Not that one.
Exactly.
Never. One would spit on the Scovington, bro.
Yeah, but I like George's fucking attitude, though. He wants to send that man to the hospital in the stretcher.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. And also the world deserves that kind of justice. Especially right now, like, with hostility.
Yeah.
Like, that man's literally hyping up the police.
Yeah, his whole game is hype up whatever's controversial. Bro. Whatever the conservatives don't want to speak about. Well, not conservatives. What they do want to speak about. Yeah, those are the nice. Colby's on their side. So it's understanding that negativity sells, or lots of people get more interest if there's negative shit you're saying, and you've made the conscious decision that you are going to build your image on this.
Yeah.
Knowing full well what happens in the country that you are fighting in, most of the time.
He might believe the shit he's saying, but I think the police things, I think he believes.
Oh, yes. So,
yeah, like, I get what you're saying about that he's trying to attach himself to something, but this one, it looks like he fully believes
the police thing.
Shout at the police, and even when he said the thing about Miami, like, I'm the king of Miami, I don't even live here, like, bruh. The people of Miami, you know what I mean? Not the people who control it.
Because
crazy. We're not talking politics,
bro. Miami has such a huge Latino population, and it adds so much color and beauty and vibrance to that fucking state. But Colby then fucking grew up in Oregon, bro.
I don't even know what that is, but that's not Miami, CJ. Why is he trying to claim another place?
I can tell you why. The color of his skin. But yeah. Anyway, fuck Colby Covington. So, that's a bit of the background stuff, yeah. And then apart from that, if you want to break the stuff down between Covington and George, where we're looking at athletes and skill sets, I'll go first because obviously you're preoccupied. Unfortunately, as much as I want to see this man destroyed, jaw broken, nose broken, seeing him KO'd for the first time on UFC, when I break it down, it's just that when you look at it, you would say, or before you would say, George is the better striker, the cleaner striker, the more experienced striker than Covington. You can still keep cleaner, more experienced. I'm comfortable with saying that. Covington, obviously better wrestler, most likely better gas tank as well.
Yeah, I see it.
But you can't.
It's a fact.
Yeah, you can't ignore Covington's striking though, and how good it actually is, how good it's become. How he keeps on making progress on the feet. Granted, Usman.
Yeah, the difference is power.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. Granted, Usman has more power than him. If you actually look at the strikes, the combinations he's throwing.
Even Masvidal's power. Stop talking about Usman. Let's stop talking
about
Usman.
But I'm saying Covington's striking, man. I was just speaking about his striking. I'm saying, even though Usman's power was the equalizer in their fight, if you look at the combinations Covington was throwing, the kicks and the mix-up, for like the strict wrestling background that he comes from, like
but then
George has jiu-jitsu on his side. That's what one of the things that Mano alluded to. He might be a better submission fighter. Or submission finisher? Submission threat. Sorry,
with Colby Covington, it looks damaging, but it's not damaging. And then if he's gonna try to stand and strike with George, same thing with Usman. If you're gonna try to stand and strike with him, George is a much better striker, and if he lands, he's landing with power. George has a lot of power, bruh, in his hands. Not obviously nowhere near as much as Usman, but I would put George's power maybe in between Colby and Usman's.
That's fair.
Because Colby's at the bottom of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And Usman's right on top, bro. No one has as much power.
Yeah. Before
Yeah, I would say before Usman on the spectrum is Burns. Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah. Also, sorry.
Nah, Burns is good, bro. But he's old, man. He's just old, unfortunately. He's 35, bro.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, fuck Burns and Usman.
So yeah, unfortunate for me, I see Covington taking it. If he's able to mix up the striking with the wrestling, that coupled with his gas tank and how active he is, his activity and his pressure is just literally part of the way he fights. And it's suffocating. If George doesn't win, this might be a more competitive RDA fight, I would think.
RDA and
Covington, to be honest. That's how I would see it playing out. Where Covington was dominant, didn't run away with the fight though. Obviously everyone took damage and stuff, but Masvidal would probably deal more damage to Covington than RDA did, but in terms of the mix-up and the pressure, I see that sort of approach from Colby, in a sense.
Mm-hmm. So he's taking Colby to win.
Yeah, Colby to beat Jorge.
Crazy.
Sadly.
Yeah.
I don't want it. My heart wants to see that man shattered, and Joe destroyed, but yeah.
I 100% agree with your logic, dog. No, not 100%. But up until today, I 100% agree with that logic. The reason I don't anymore is because, like I said, yeah, all of the stuff tie into each other, and George just looks like the better flower right now, and so that's the spiritual side of it, I guess, and that's also how I felt about Adesanya. He was looking like a better flower, even though Robert was flowing so good in the press conferences. I'm talking about and also how they're expressing themselves emotionally. You were saying, the space that Rob's in, and I was I definitely love the space that he's into. There's levels to this game, and if Colby gets his his flow from like the hate. That's great for him if you found that, But George gets his flow. What it seems like to me, obviously, is George gets his flow from being natural and easy, and that's like the Miami way, I guess. You know what I mean? Like the way that he sat in that press conference, it's effortless. He doesn't try too hard, like I was saying. And the thing that made me realize it now is when you were saying, literally, you were saying the exact things that I was thinking, but because you were saying it, it also gave me time to think of
Objective, not subjective.
And the reason I'm saying George is because of this. George vs. Usman won. George wasn't like really suffocated, and he got wrestled like for the whole 5 minutes, but he was like, fuck this guy, like, can't believe this is happening almost, and like he wanted to fight, you know what I mean? And in Usman too, he realized he didn't want to fight, and that's because of the power. So I think with Covington, he's getting what he wanted from Usman. A bit of wrestling and time to also attack jiu-jitsu. Because he didn't get that with Usman. He held him up against the fence and foot stomped him and body shot him most of the time. So he's going to get the chance to do jiu-jitsu because when Covington, he doesn't wrestle for position, he wrestles to do damage.
Yeah.
So every time Covington lifts his hand to strike, that's a chance for George to move. So I think that's going to be a just battle, and I think it's the one that Roy wants. George Roy, sorry dog if I'm saying your name wrong the whole time, it's just like how we heard it first. But his name is Roy Masvidal, just by the way. I'm not doing it out of disrespect, CJ. Just saying it because that's what I'm used to. But it will change.
Yeah. We'll change out of respect.
Mercy. Roy, like I think he wants this man. Like he also wants to beat him up. I think Covington just wants to win this fight, to like get his title shot again and like just get money and stuff. I think Roy actually wants to fight and like get hit, and like I think he's gonna get hit a bit and then he's gonna taunt to get hit more so that he can lay traps to land, because bruh, Usman landed on Covington a lot. But the difference is, Usman was trying to take his fucking head off and Covington was seeing it, so rolling it.
Okay.
Here's where George fits in between them. Or like with the striking, he has power and fucking accuracy, bruh. He's the best striker in the div. Besides Wonder Boy. He's the best boxer in the div. Let's think about that before we say it though.
For now?
I would say boxer, probably, bruh. Top 5, because he's better than Burns, he's better than Usman, he's better than Covington. That is the top 5, Can check it on here. Create fighter, career fight now.
Vincente Luque Edwards. RDA.
He's a good striker, but not the best boxer. RDA, Vicente Luque is probably the best, but he's also a more well-rounded striker. It's probably the two of them, George and Luque for me. I didn't trust in Edwards' hands.
Edwards has got good hands though. He's quick and he's got power, bro.
I would love a George Edwards or Luque Edwards.
They have footage for George Edwards, bruv. The 3-piece and a sword.
Bro, that could come after this fight.
Yeah, bro. If Edwards.
But yeah, I think George is the best boxer in the top 5 because he's a top 5 fighter. The other people we mentioned aren't.
Is Vincente 6?
Probably, bro. It could be 5th. 1, 2, 3.
Burns 3.
4. I'm just counting 5. Dos años.
See,
I would probably put him over Luque and Edwards.
But I'd be shocked if he's still top 5 because he hasn't been that active, no?
Okay, that is true.
Well, injury, obviously.
Who was he supposed to fight now?
This was Fasif. Fasif,
but that's lightweight.
Yeah, this is the catchweight.
This is welterweight.
So
yeah, probably Edwards or Luque, number 5, bro.
What is Fasif? Is he
Lightweight.
Is he? Is
Yeah.
he not welterweight?
He's lightweight, bro. Yeah.
Sick pussy he was welterweight. Oh my god.
So for me, my mind is on the underdog, bro. But this time I actually feel like the logic is, like logically I think he's going to win as well. Like normally I just put my money on the underdog because it's the underdog and the betting odds will be dates. But this underdog he actually has a good chance of winning, I think. Also by like a knockout or like, yo, bruh, imagine he kicks him in the face, bruh. A fast kick that Usman can't do. Or like that shuffle step left hook that Usman never does. Do you know what I mean? Like, Usman throws from here, bruh. Everyone can see that shit. Jorge throws, and then he steps forward and does that left hook. Bruh, that's gonna land. Then he's gonna fake it and throw a kick. Do you know what I mean? Oh, there's gonna be some super necessary strikes after that. That's my prediction, Mercy.
Yeah, then we're gonna co-main, which sadly has seen a replacement because Fazeev got COVID. So we've got Rafael dos Anjos versus Renato Moicano. I'm gonna go RDA because experience, skill set. I've also seen more of RDA. Moicano dope fighter, they don't sleep on him, guys. And girls. They and them too. Bless you for watching us. Oh wait, RDA for me on that one.
Excuse me?
I say RDA between him and Moicano. I don't know much about Moicano's background.
I'm going Moicano for this fight, bro.
I've seen Moicano sub someone just though. He was losing the fight initially, and then he came back.
For me, it's this flow thing again.
Yeah, it was the Alexander Hernandez fight.
That was recent.
Whoa, yeah, 13th of February. Quick
that was
turnaround for
recent
him.
because he didn't like do anything in it. He just
Yeah.
but that guy was a newly back, which is same like RDA. He hasn't fought in long, you see. That's why I say it's the flow thing for me again. It's like someone who's active or someone who's not. Again, now that you brought up the Alex Hernandez thing, because Alex Hernandez was out for a long time.
No.
So yeah, for me,
Moicano.
that's where my money's going. And I think he's going to win again. A logical vibe.
And then it's
I think that RDA could get subbed. Yeah, I think RDA wants to finish the fight. So I feel like he could be like
Isn't
a
he
Russian.
like the best jiu-jitsu practitioner?
Is he
at
not the
welterweight?
wrestler? Oh,
Nah,
okay.
RDA. Like he doesn't get subbed.
Let's see. That's gonna be two fucking interesting fights actually, bro. Shit.
I don't think RDA's been subbed. It would be the first sub.
I'm glad it's recorded.
2 years ago was RDA's last.
Nah, dog. Ring rust is real.
Facts.
Regardless of what you think about it. Like, I mean, what people say. And ring rust doesn't count for ring. Rust is rust. Let me rather say that. It's also like mental space for fighting. Like, you get people who do other fights and people who fight hard and get into that mental space at their house. Do you know what I mean? Like, that still counts as ring if you put yourself in the ring and in the mindset. And I don't think he's been in that mindset. Do you find what I mean?
We'll see.
I think he's just been training. He hasn't been like channeling his energy into fighting, stuff like that. Whereas I feel like Moicano has been doing it a lot. I'm saying feel a lot because I really do feel this way. I haven't seen anything about them, and also the other stuff was feelings about Covington and so on. Who's
I'm
next?
sticking with RDA. Barboza and Mitchell. Brass.
Hectic. Price is probably the underdog.
Yeah, I think I might go with what is it, man? I've seen win fights of that, man. I don't know if he can take damage or not. Because like Barboza could give him once or twice, or he could survive.
Yeah.
A couple of kicks.
Why don't you just take some
And
down
then
one
that's what I'm
time?
saying. If he survives the kicks and he's just able to wrestle him, he can beat. It's an easy. We'll see.
So, who are you going for in that one?
I'm gonna go Mitchell.
Okay. Yeah. Then I may have to go Barbosa, because I also think Mitchell, but... Okay, no. Doesn't make sense for me to just go with what you say. Or opposite too.
Yeah.
I was also thinking
I can see
Mitchell.
that man's hand being raised for some reason.
Can't believe I'm voting for a white guy.
But if they kick him in his push, laugh me